Pardon an interruption, this is Troy Hill with the Star Chronicles. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're interested in making your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, I'm Troy Hill with the Star Chronicles Cowboys Talk Podcast, sponsored by Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, free, which you can use right from your phone or computer with creation tools that allow you to record and edit to get your show sounding glorious. They'll even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So what you need to do is download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Did I mention it was free?
The Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Just Us Radio presents the Star Chronicles.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!
And goal. Elliott into the end zone.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Star Chronicles Cowboys Football Talk Podcast, Episode 8. Another big victory, perhaps, for the Dallas Cowboys? Let's go ahead and discuss it with my co-hosts, Lisa and Ron. They're both back together. We're all together again.
Hello. What's going
Yay.
on, everybody?
Yeah. We're all together again. Isn't this wonderful?
So happy.
I mean, you guys are on an assignment.
And it feels so good.
Oh, Jesus. I'm lighting a lighter in the distance, just listening in. But seriously, I mean, it was a game. I mean, we can't. I mean, 31-6 over the Miami Dolphins.
We'll take it.
I mean, of course we'll take it, but overall, I guess let's go to like the main part of it first before we start looking at the numbers and just performance of offense and defense. Did it deter any of your expectations from this team? Because it was a slow start, and I guess with my statement last week, this is what separates like the real teams from like the average teams when they do what they're supposed to do, which they did win. They went wet. I mean, they covered over the spread, but it still was like missing something. Or is it just me?
No, I definitely don't think it's just you. There were parts of the struggle that I enjoy is too strong of a word, but there were things that I saw that were different than what the struggle would have looked like last year. Like we kept, even though we were struggling in the first half, I felt like we came out, and maybe that was just, we were going to impose our will in the second half, but I liked that Kellen Moore stayed aggressive, at the beginning of the second half and didn't take a Linehan type approach where, okay, we can't get the offense running. I mean, we can't get it going. So we're just going to run it for a little while and wear out the other team. And then we'll start throwing it. And that game had the potential. If it was a Linehan game, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that score could have very easily been 18-6 or 17-6 or, you know what I mean? Because I feel like he would have been a lot more conservative coming out at the beginning of the second half and just trying to impose your will versus let's step on the throat and end it halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
No, I feel the same exact way. I really feel that a Linehan approach with the score that low, he probably would have maintained running the ball just to continue to impose, which we did, but we mixed in the pass. I think he would have went a lot more run heavy because of the score being so close. He would have just kept trying to impact with the run game in that. And I think that was the difference that Kellen Moore continue to keep the playbook open and just continue to say, hey, we're going to continue to take our shot. We won't do like we did in the very beginning where we were just going all over the place. And I think what it was is we were just trying to really jump on them early, just to show that where we are. We tried to be a team that we really aren't quite yet in the beginning.
Yes, I agree with that statement. I think, do I think we're above average? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Do I think we're top tier where you can be put in the conversation like right next to the Patriots? Unfortunately, no, I don't.
Not quite.
And I love the Cowboys. I mean, I do. I mean, we're definitely a playoff team.
Yes,
I can say that. But Super Bowl champs just right now, contenders, I'm not 100% sure. Got a lot of stuff to still work on. I mean, I'm still not particularly happy with the sputtering of the offense, because I do have concerns once we do play like legitimate teams that it could put us in a hole early in the game, which you know as well as I do. The offensive play calling, everything changes once you're in a point when you're in a hole. 14 points down, plays are being changed. I mean, some teams decide to rush. Some teams decide to try and be a little more conservative, try and control the clock and be completely deliberate with what they do. But they got to make sure that they're being successful with those play calls also. So, Dak Prescott didn't light the house on fire like the first 2 weeks. I mean, still impressive overall. 19, for 32, 246 yards, average 7.7 yards per play, 2 touchdowns, that 1 interception I know he wishes he would have had back. Quarterback rating 91.4. Your thoughts on the overall performance of Dak Prescott, Lisa?
I'm not mad at it at all. I mean, the thing I love about him the most is just his ability to plays over and he moves on. He's on to the next. Like his poise, I think is the right word I'm looking for. He doesn't seem to get rattled. And that's what I think is going to be the difference down the road is his, just like we've talked about before in that, the playoff game, his rookie year when he was down by three touchdowns to Aaron Rodgers and, came back against them and had them tied. And the defense is the one that squandered that away. And, I just like his poise and I'm glad that he struggled a little bit and I'm not saying his ego was out of whack, but just to bring the pundits back down to earth, the Sports Illustrated covers and things like that. Like, let's just get some of the hype down, while we still can. And,
Yes, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, Dak Prescott does have a level of swagger and poise to him. This is something that we've discussed several times on this program. It's just some things are not quantifiable. Some things you really can't measure. I mean, I guess it's like if you're a Hollywood celebrity, you got that it factor. He has that it factor that you just can't. I mean, it's just something that you can't. I mean, you can't evaluate or say what it is, or I mean, it's just you don't even know how much that costs or whatever. I mean, it's just something that's there. I mean, it ain't like you can just put it in a bag at the grocery store, put it in the scale, and weigh it, and then that's what you pay. Nobody knows.
It's about to cost about $35.5 million a year. Is about what it's going to cost.
About that.
Yes. Let's go to you, Starstruck. I want to see what your overall thoughts are too, and I do have one more question about Dak that I want to just all collectively, kind of see what we all think about that. So
I was definitely a little disappointed, but at the same time I was a little balanced because I understood what was going on. Like I was saying just a minute ago, I really felt that was, to the fans out there, that was not our true identity in the beginning of the game. Yes, we do start games off a little slow. We have shown that in the first couple of games. But the way we started off slow this time, that's not our true identity. I really, again, thought we tried to be a team we really weren't. We saw how New England and the Ravens kind of jumped on this team, and I think we wanted to be that. We wanted to jump up 20, 30 in the first half and really blow this this team away, and it did not come out that way. Number one, you can never look at a team the same way they play anybody else. The Miami Dolphins was not the same Miami Dolphins that played the Patriots and the Ravens. I'm sorry. When teams play the Cowboys, I don't care what anybody says, especially haters, because y'all don't understand. When teams play the Cowboys, they step their game up just a little bit more than when they face any other team. So we did not get, to me, a typical Miami Dolphins. Yeah, they were still terrible. However, I think they played a little bit harder with a little bit more of an edge, thinking that, hey, we're on TV against these Cowboys. Well, not national TV, but we're playing the Cowboys, so we're on the stage. Let's see what we can do. And I think it was a combination of Miami trying as hard as they could and Dallas trying as hard as they could to try to jump on them early. We got that ugly beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask this question to make sure we're all still on the same page. I know Lisa kind of answered this question. Still pay Dak?
No question.
I'm still in the same boat. I'm still in the same boat. Yeah.
Cooper Rush still on our bench, right?
yeah. But you saw the same posts and stuff I saw. We see it every time. All it takes it's just like some people are just sitting, just waiting in their chair for Dak to throw an interception or do something. See, I told you so. I mean, it just gets to the point where it's just pretty pathetic. I mean, it's kind of sad, because all quarterbacks throw interceptions. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless I mean, I don't know. I don't pay attention. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be first to say that I don't care about any other team, and I basically will not watch any other team play because I just don't care. Yes, I'm aware of all the big-time players in the league, but to sit down and watch a whole game with them, if it's not no Dallas Cowboy helmets floating around in that game, I just do not care at all. Young Troy, yes, I will watch football. Older Troy, I ain't got time to be sitting there watching anybody else except the Cowboys. Too much other stuff going on and responsibility, so I just don't really care. As I look down my Facebook feed right now and everyone's giving highlights and stuff on the game, I just don't get it. Why did they think people care? But anywho.
For those that do care, the Redskins are getting trashed tonight.
The Redskins.
Yeah, they're having a hard go of it.
The Bears defense. I told Troy earlier, the Bears defense is nasty.
No, it's definitely a good defense. I mean, there's no denying that. But their question has always been the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky's a problem.
Mitch
Trubisky's a problem for them, not for us.
Yeah, I mean, people, if you think Dak's bad, watch that guy play and stuff, and then you'll be sending me a letter saying you're sorry. But I mean, even the distribution of the ball by Dak. I mean, this is the last thing we'll cover on Dak. But I mean, he still had, how many targets we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He still supplied the ball to 8 different targets. Well, 7. Mm-hmm. Now, Cedric Wilson, he had a drop, I believe. But I mean, he's still getting the ball out there. And that's always a good thing.
I feel like the absence of Michael Gallup was noticeable in the first half.
Yes.
I don't think it lingered. I think they finally adjusted enough to it, but I do think that was, good for him, except for that, okay, now I need you to hurry up and get back. But I think they made adjustments, and that's the other thing I was proud of. We talked about it a lot last year. We were not good last year at adjustments. And I don't know if that was, Linehan or what, but it was frustrating. And so to see those, it looked like a totally different team after half. And that was, that was good news for the home team.
Now let's talk about the dynamic duo that we have now of running backs. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, both combined for 228 yards total rushing. Both running backs rushed for 100 yards, something that has not been done since 1998, since Emmitt Smith and Chris Warren, who I forgot played for the Cowboys. I always visualized him as a Seattle Seahawk. But
I actually watched the highlight of him earlier this week. He caught you never believe this, he caught a long bomb from Randall Cunningham. I almost forgot Randall Cunningham was on our team.
And me too.
But I digress.
Me too. Well, who was the first time? I mean, when we saw the stat, when they said this, I'm like, the first person I asked, I'm sure Tony Dorsett and Herschel Walker both rushed for 100 yards in the game. Because I know they were on the same team.
I couldn't find it.
Or was it a season or two?
Couldn't find it.
But no. Yeah. I mean, it's only happened 4 times in Dallas Cowboys history. 1998, and the other one was in the 70s, and the other one was like even earlier than that. So I can't even remember the players. But yeah, it's only happened 4 times in Dallas Cowboy history. But this is the first time we got a chance to see both backs in the backfield at the same time, which I kind of figured that. I think we have mentioned things like that in the show, that you're probably not going to see them in the backfield probably to like week 3 or 4. And boom, here we are. Book it. But, I mean, what do you think just about just both of them on the same team and just the overall potential?
You want me to take this part?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't call a name. I just kind of just answered my question and sat back.
The thing about it is I like it because it makes it even that much more difficult to defend this team because, you don't know you truly don't know what's going to happen. And we haven't had that in a long time where it's the defense has really got to be a defense to be able to defend this properly. And the other thing, I mean, there's two other facets to that really made me happy. One, it gives, I was a little bit, last year when Zeke would come out on the critical plays, we would be like, what in the world are they doing? It's 3rd and 2, and your workhorse is standing beside Jason Garrett. And so, that's the thing you're not seeing this year either. But then also, let Zeke get his numbers, whatever. But then it keeps him fresh for later on when you need to pound, you need to pound it inside. You need to let him fall for 5 yards every play. His legs are going to be a lot fresher at the end. Not that he struggles with, fatigue and conditioning at the end. But then I liked the way when Tony Pollard did score, Zeke was one of the first ones over there, picking him up, hugging him, celebrating with him. And it doesn't seem to be a point of contention. And that's the other thing. Like it's a true tandem backfield, and they both want the best for each other. And that's a good problem to have.
Yep.
Your thoughts, Starstruck?
I'll tell you what helps and what makes that a good chemistry and a good mesh, and why he is over there celebrating Tony Pollard. He's already gotten paid. So I think had he not gotten paid yet, I think you may have seen something a little different if Tony Pollard is showing this kind of success and he had not gotten his money. I think we may have seen a little bit of a different look on the face of Ezekiel Elliott. So thank goodness that he got paid. So we do get the look that we are seeing from him, and we are looking at a dynamic duo for real. It was good to see him come alive, Tony Pollard, and I look forward to see what this team can do in the upcoming matchups.
Yep, and I think it's a good position for Pollard to be in because I don't know for 100% fact, but it seems like Zeke might be teaching him some things because maybe it's just me, but it looked like he was a lot more patient trying to hit holes this week.
Oh, yeah.
And I've said it openly about Ezekiel Elliott. He's like the most patient running back I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody just to wait till that hole just opens right up at the right moment and makes for that clear break. And it's like flawless and seamless every time. And Pollard, he had a couple of moments like that where it looked like he was just waiting for things to develop, and then he just put the foot on the gas. So, I think it's really a good position for him to be in. I just really do. I enjoy this dynamic duo, as well. I wonder how many times we got to say dynamic duo for it to catch on. and we got it recorded and stuff too. So it's like ours right now. So there. So, anything else on the offense? Jason Witten?
I love him.
Big play, picking up that first down for us.
Yeah.
Lovely catch. That you can tell he's not as fast as he used to be. Not saying he was fast to begin with.
I was about to say, when
But he's quick.
When did he lose a step?
He's quick.
Years ago?
Yeah, well, there's a
He's
difference
quick.
between being fast and it's a
Yeah.
difference between being fast and
Because
quick.
he
But
got
he's
by that
smart.
guy.
Yes.
Once
He's
he
not
saw
fast.
once he
Yeah.
saw Dak moving,
Mm-hmm.
he's smart enough to know, okay, here's
Yes.
what I have to do next, and I've got to keep moving
Mm-hmm.
to give us a shot. And
Yes.
that's what I love about it. He's just smart. His
Mm-hmm.
football IQ is, it's good.
Yeah, it just shows.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Go ahead, Troy.
hopefully Jarwin learns some things from him too while he's here, because I'm very happy with Jarwin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do think he's like the heir to the throne, so to speak, of our tight end situation. Yeah. So, I mean, that will come, whether people like it or not. That's like going to be an inevitable thing here.
Yeah, and I think he's going to benefit with the being able, because that's what we missed out on. The tight ends being able to shadow Witten before. It was like Witten was gone, said, you know what, I'm out of here. It was like, oh, okay. And so I think this is really going to help those guys this year. And I think the way Witten is looking right now, he may come back for one more, depending on what goes on at the end of this season.
You know what? You're correct about that.
He's not showing
it's
any
a
signs of age taking over. I mean, he looks like he could give it about another this season and perhaps even next if he needed to.
Yeah,
I think he looks like he's just having a lot more fun. Like I think it was tough
Excellent
for him more than people even realize the way that the Tony thing went down, because that was his security blanket, just like it was Dez's and all the rest. And so when that went down the way it did, I think it was harder on Jason than people even recognized or whatever. And but like we talked about in the beginning, the part that made me excited is there's only one reason he came back to put his body through this. And it's because he believes this team has the talent, has a shot to get him the only thing he's missing. And that's some jewelry.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I mean, I hope we just got so many things to still tighten up. Not to mention our field goal kicking.
Oh my Lord.
Granted, I mean, I know it was 50. I thought, it was 55 yards, but then, Starstruck kind of brought me back down to earth and said, it's indoors, and he started breaking down the averages of other things that were going on. So, it kind of put things more in perspective for me. So that's one stat that we're going to be working on here for an upcoming show. That's going to be stating if we the difference between below 50 yards and above 50 yards outdoor versus indoor.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be an interesting stat to take a look at.
Okay, so I know you don't watch extra football, but okay, so at the end of the Tampa game when they played the Giants yesterday, I don't know if you saw any of the highlights or whatever. So Tampa had a field goal they were kicking a field goal to win it at the end, and they consciously took a delay of game to back it up 5 yards because their coach said our kicker's better from that further distance. Well, he missed it, and if they had been 5 yards closer, the way it looked like it. I mean, you can't prove that, obviously, but the trajectory, it looked like it would have gone in because it didn't curve to left. It looks like it would have. And I was like, so those, they're looking at what ranges these kickers are better at. And I wonder if I would have lost my entire religion if Jason Garrett had done some stuff like that. Like
exactly.
They had it to win. And with the extra 5 yards back, he ended up missing it. And so that's sad about indoors and outdoors. That will be interesting to see, especially with this particular kicker.
Yeah, because Ron stated my complaint with or not really a complaint, more like kind of accepting the fact that he missed 55 yards. But Ron was stating that most kickers these days actually their average kick for them is higher typically than what the lower range kicks are.
What do you mean?
Well, he's saying that like more people can kick further away easier than what they can closer.
Yeah.
I got you.
So, I mean, we definitely got to pull that stat together. I mean, I don't know what we base it on. I don't know if we base it on the league or just what we have, but I'm just really curious to see below 50, above 50, indoor versus outdoor, and see what the difference is.
Like percentages?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it'd just be interesting to me.
Statistician over there.
Yes. yes. Go ahead and put that to work, Lisa.
Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna sit back here and kick my feet up.
The one I can't do it right now because that's the one class that I had to almost change my major for because I thought I was going to fail statistics. So,
let's look at the defensive side of the ball. Is anybody worrying? I know I am.
I've been concerned ever since we missed out on Earl Thomas. But go ahead, Lisa. You probably got.
Oh Lord.
Earl Thomas. What?
Oh Lord.
Are you serious?
We have an Earl Thomas apologist on the show. Anyways, go ahead.
Well,
sympathizer.
I think I was texting y'all or whatever during the game, and the defense was the one part of the team that I really didn't have any concerns about. It looked like it was going to be just fine, and I don't know if it's just, except for like Jalen and Leighton played a lot of the preseason, so I can't put that off on them, but I feel like the linebackers are just a little bit late, and with that team yesterday especially, like it was a chance for you to kind of get your swagger back and get your swagger period for this year, like not even back, just get it. And I think Tank played a lot. I don't think he's played poorly at all because he does get double teamed a lot, and he is in the trenches. And he had some, he finally kind of, to what I feel like, showed out yesterday. And but the linebackers, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this next game will show if your defense is okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, the problem is with Lawrence is because the first thing when you think of him, people think about the contract that he just signed. Yeah. But there's more to it than that. I mean, usually top tier defensive ends, I mean, they're having these people are having their expectation. Well, he has to get a sack a game. That's not always the case. They might go 2 or 3 games without a sack, and then one game had 3 sacks.
But then, what I want to say to those people is, we're 3 games in. And he's got a sack and a half.
Exactly.
Okay, I mean, if you got to the end of the season, as it sits right now, that's going to be 8-9 sacks, which isn't, over the top, but it's not terrible. The thing that concerns me too about the defense is I'm selfish and I want more splash plays. I want to be like this Bears defense that is. They have 4 interceptions. One was a pick 6 and 3 fumbles. I want things like that. That changes your whole, because their offense is a dumpster fire, and they're winning 28-3 because their defense is giving them short fields.
Yes, exactly. I definitely want to see some more turnovers going on. I mean, it's getting kind of old just seeing these bat balls I almost had it. That's getting kind of irritating. Just a quick stat right there. Sean Lee, no tackles a game. Did Sean Lee even play?
He did, and I heard his name a lot more than I heard. I heard his name early, which I hadn't in the other games.
Yeah, see, I'm looking right down the thing right now. I don't see any tackles at all.
Yeah, I heard his name, but I don't know if it was.
Maybe they were just there's Sean Lee.
Well, no, I think it was. I don't. Obviously, it couldn't have been a tackler. It would be in the box score, but
yeah.
And it could it could just be the defensive scheme that we're playing because people were saying that we're going to have the best linebacking trio in the league, and I'm like, yeah, I guess that's if we run a defense that utilizes 3 linebackers on the field at one time. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think we're doing
Yeah.
that. I don't think we're utilizing things the correct way just yet. I mean, I'm not seeing like deliberate blitzes. I'm just seeing that kind of like I hope we get some pressure. I mean, why can't we just say we're going to blitz until you prove you could do something else, until you prove that you can stop us?
Well,
I got to
I
answer
think
until Lisa. Once Lisa finishes, I got to answer to that. Go ahead, Lisa.
well, go ahead. No, because you're gonna say the same thing I am.
Well, I know what you're going to
Go
say,
ahead.
but
Save me the
you're gonna
breath.
say you're going to say that okay, all of a sudden they're just going to just okay, well we'll do some play action. We're going to chuck the ball down the field. It's going to be a touchdown. Or
No,
whatever.
there's no what ifs about it. They were kicking our ass.
Yeah.
But there's
Yesterday.
there's other teams that do
The
it.
other teams probably have a safety.
Fair.
I'm sorry, did I throw that out there?
Here we go. Here comes
Something's
Earl
in the
Thomas.
room.
Here comes
That
ETT
doggone
again.
elephant sitting in the corner over there. That huge elephant sitting over here in the corner.
I don't know for what he wanted. I mean, it just comes down to that. You know, we can like tap the brakes a little bit and talk about that, and even talk about the Jalen Ramseys of the world. It just means how much are you willing to do today for one season, especially in Jalen Ramsey's case. I mean, technically, it would just be a rental, if anything, unless you actually decide to pay the man. So, okay, you're going to pay. You decide you're not going to be a rental. You're going to pay the man. You're going to give him a first-round draft pick. Then you're going to pay the man. How many players are you willing to give up that you can't sign for Jalen Ramsey? Yeah. So, how many more holes are you going to open up in your defense just because you got Jalen Ramsey now?
Yeah,
I think you'd only open. I don't think there would be one open. Because all you're going to give up is Byron, and that Jalen replaces Byron anyway.
But what about the other players that are going to be coming down the pike the next year and the year after that? You're not going to be able to pay.
Saying.
You're not. I'm talking like I'm looking like in a 5-year window.
Who's left?
I got you.
I mean, we paid
all the corners.
Almost everybody this year.
Well, all the corners. Well, we got to look at it still that we haven't signed Dak and we haven't signed
That's
Cooper.
True. But and the salary cap's about to raise, from what I've been hearing, for next year.
And that's what they're waiting on. Yeah, the
So,
CBA should. I mean, the salary cap should go up. Well, the CBA is going on right now, so that'll determine what that's going to look like. And I think that's why they're waiting on Amari.
I mean, it's just like with this, you know, I'm not saying that we're experts in it, but I do like to think that, you know, Ron, Lisa, that we do think a little bit further ahead. Oh, well, I mean, no one's denying that Jalen Ramsey's not a great player. I'm just asking, what do you have to give up and what do you have to sacrifice 5 years down the road for this player? And I can say the same thing for Earl Thomas as well.
Yeah,
because you're still looking at like same things that you could potentially lose, or you might not have that money right now to extend. Okay, say if we would have signed Earl, okay, and Zeke holds out. Guess what? Zeke still hold out right now. Because we still don't got Dak signed and we still don't have Cooper signed.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong now when I said threw Earl's name out there, I was not talking about Earl in particular. I threw his name out there because he was the big safety signing we were looking for.
Oh, yes.
And so when the question was posed, are there anything that concerns about the defense? I said I've been concerned since Earl Thomas because we've been trying to address our safety position since we've been trying to get Earl Thomas, and
it's magnified now that I think you see that Xavier Woods is better than I thought. I'll say he's better than I thought because his absence was noticeable. Yesterday.
Yes, I mean, that's very, very true. I mean, the thing I can say about Xavier Woods compared to his past couple of seasons is that he's way more consistent, and I think he's got caught up to the speed of the NFL. And I just think he's going to steadily improve, once he's healthy. Heath, I mean, had a lot of people sitting there, excited about Heath and his hit. You need to post that picture, Ron, because he wasn't even. I mean, he was going for the ball. That wasn't a hit. That was just. If there's is there such a thing between a difference between a hit and a collision? This was a collision. This is two people that's running into each other. This wasn't. He squared up, getting ready to knock a man's head off. So, again, I'm not knocking the guy. I just don't give him praise as much as other people do. He's not a GOAT, and he's not a beast. And I'm sorry. He just isn't.
And this, again, When I say we need a safety, no disrespect to Xavier Woods, guy's talented. I did notice without him being there that there was a void, noticeable void. The thing that we don't have, even when he's there, is we don't have a ball hawking safety. That when the ball comes, like you said,
like Minka Fitzpatrick.
There's balls. The guy first game, and he's already running back an interception back the other way. You know, if it's, I mean,
what would you give up for him now, Troy? Would you kick the tires on Minka yet?
I still wouldn't give the first. That's
Lies.
what the Steelers gave up. No,
lies.
I wouldn't have gave up the first. I mean, that's you just did
but
it
it's
last
probably
season.
going to be. It's not like you're giving up a top 4 pick like the Steelers did. You're giving up probably the 30th pick.
Yeah, that's true too. But Jesus, I mean, I can't.
God willing, and the creek don't rise, it'll be the 32nd pick. You're telling me you wouldn't give the 32nd pick for Minka Fitzpatrick?
If you're telling me it's a 32 pick, possibly. I just don't like giving up first round picks. I'm sorry. I don't like sitting that first day of draft day not with nothing to do.
Maybe this will help.
Then I'll wait to day 2 for the. They gotta wait for day 2 for a draft pick.
Yeah.
Like
so
that.
yeah. So for what Starstruck said, you did stuff on that day in 2017, and look what you got. He's in Miami now.
Let me put it to you this way. I had my edit already of TJ Watt to post and stuff soon. They were going to say his name in Dallas Cowboys. It wasn't Taco I had ready. It was TJ Watt saying, "Welcome TJ Watt to the Dallas Cowboys." I still have it on my phone somewhere. I wasn't even thinking about a taco.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw the Minka pick 6, I was like,
Yeah,
that's what I said.
That's just game changing.
That's just cowboy luck, though. You know how that works.
Game changing.
Last year, Earl Thomas was doing interceptions all over the place and stuff last year and stuff. You know, they all said, we should have tried to do something. This is just the same thing. It's just witchcraft.
No. Minka, no. And I do not like Alabama at all. But I got a heavy dose of Minka Fitzpatrick when he was at Alabama, being that the original Tigers that are in Baton Rouge play him twice a year. Or not twice a year, but every year. So Minka has been good for a long time. And that's all I'll say about him.
Now I'm not quite as sold on Minka Fitzpatrick. He's nice, good look, for a safety out there. But my sights was more so on this Jamal Adams. If anything even remotely looks like it's accurate that he does not want to be a Jet anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we brought this up. You brought this up last week.
I like Minka. Good interception yesterday, nice. But I saw him get tossed like a rag doll also by somebody.
Okay, so now let me clarify. If Jamal
and I also saw him get like literally basically pistol whipped and stuff in a Baltimore Ravens highlight game. Yeah. So
okay, so let me say this: if Minka, if there's two pretty shiny things named Minka and Jamal on the table, and they're like, okay, Lise, all you got to do is you pick which one you want to be your starting strong safety. Give me Jamal all day, every day.
Are you giving up a first still?
No question. I would give up a first.
Did you really just ask that question?
After I said I would give up the 32nd pick for Minka, I would give up a top 10 pick, probably, maybe top 15 for Jamal.
As soon as you said that, my first round pick was already gone out of my possession.
No doubt.
Before you even said it, I was already thinking nothing less.
God, nobody values the first round pick anymore these days.
But that's the thing. You have a position of need, and it's safety, and you're not going to get one that good.
I'm just saying, as a stubborn, spoiled, maybe selfish, maybe selfish Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm not going to sit this season on day 1 of the draft and not be able to be excited to see who the Cowboys are going to pick on that day. I'm not going to wait to the second day.
I don't know. I was pretty excited that we got Amari.
Yeah,
I just hate it. I do. I mean, I just don't like it. I know it's stupid. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. It stinks.
That's the equivalent of you're not the boss of me. And I don't have to like it.
Well, it just stinks. I'm sorry. And I mean,
but he is that good, Jamal.
That first round pick.
But my main argument was about the Fitzgerald thing is that I have a hard time knowing that it's more than just one person.
Who?
I have a hard
Fitzpatrick.
time.
Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick. I have a hard time seeing somebody just laid out 500 yards. And I know it's a team sport, but he got burnt some too. So that was my concern. When people start saying, oh, yeah, let's give up a first-round pick. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was just my opinion.
That is a definite position of need. So
yes, it is. Ball hawk. I would have loved to have seen Heath had been a step sooner in being in front of the football instead of behind Hearns when he clocked him. Had he been a step sooner and a little bit faster on the reaction, he might have had the pick and then not maybe the collision, but he hesitated a bit. He sits back a little bit further, because he's just not that guy that's going to, he went after the football. He's a little step, I think, slow on the reaction. That's what caused the collision. But I think somebody else, you get a faster, quicker read, somebody that, I don't know.
I mean, is there any concern about the corners? I mean, I don't really have some. I mean, because I think they're doing. I mean, I think some of that stuff is more so to me than anything is good coverage and the quarterback's putting the ball where it needs to be caught. I mean, it's not like they're getting just completely just beat.
Yeah,
I felt like there was a little bit of that yesterday, and
where they were getting beat. Really? Okay.
I felt a little bit like, and I haven't felt that way about Cheeto all year, but I felt like when he was covering a bigger receiver, I feel like Devontae Parker kind of made him look a little bit foolish a couple of times. And I get it. That's just going to happen sometimes. But a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, it just, I don't know. It seemed like for the bulk of the game, they were in position. Now, in instances where you can still be in position, but if a guy is like taller than you and the ball's exactly where it's supposed to be,
that's
that
true.
much you can do at that point anyways.
Well, and I think the defense too, for a lot of it's like, I can't remember what game it was. I didn't feel real great about it afterwards. And I went and looked back at the statistics and I was like, oh, we don't really give up that many yards at all, And so I have to check myself a lot of the time to not turn into one of those Cowboy fans that expects 47 turnovers and holding them to 0 points every game. Yeah. Like I have to check myself sometimes because I did have high expectations of the defense coming in. And so I have to be careful about that.
I mean, especially this game. I mean, you're not giving 21 points and stuff for nothing.
That's not us though. That's just, we want that to be our identity, but that's truly not us. And to put it in a boxing way of things, we're that guy that comes out of the ring and we're jabbing early on in the fight. We're setting up punches for later on. We jab, like, oh, this is boring. They're just hugging and he's just jabbing. We're not that haymaker Mike Tyson put you down in the first round. We show flashes of that, like when we had the Giants, last season we threw the bomb early on but that's not our mentality, is to step in your throat and continue to twist, over and over again. We'll throw something at you every now and then. That's just not, we're trying to get there. I can see we're taking steps to get to that, but this is still a new offense.
But when you explain it like that, I start thinking to myself, do we need to be there with the dynamic? I mean, do we have to be that
that's
team?
Not
with
our
dynamic?
With
our running backs, and then, with the addition of Pollard, I mean, I'm still perfectly content with just nickel and diming people.
Because it'll
Absolutely.
come.
I mean,
it'll come. It'll come.
That explanation, I think, took away all my anxiety. See? That's why y'all are good for me.
That's how we play. I mean, people want us to jump on the dog. That's not how we play. We set up stuff. We pound you with the run. We're going to set the jab up, start you off. And then as it opens up, we're going to start throwing more punches at you. And that's what happened yesterday. You saw us jab, jab, jab. It was still close. Okay, we saw what we did in the first half.
Well, yeah, we got a little punch. We got a little punch drunk in the first half.
Yeah.
They must have hit us a little bit because we're gonna throw deep bombs everywhere, no matter where it is, and that wasn't.
That's
a good
not us.
look.
We don't have a gunslinger like that, so don't do that.
No,
don't do that.
No, we don't, and we don't need to have a gunslinger.
Not when you got two running backs. Let's say, can we say it again? Dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo. We're talking like coming around the corner like Batman, you're ready to do the bang of power on people. So yeah, I mean, we're good at that front. There's some other. Thompson didn't do that bad of a job.
No, he actually didn't. Honestly,
he didn't do that bad of a job to me. It was nice seeing Quinn. I mean, he only had 3 tackles, but still at the same time, it looks like he provides a little bit of energy. Yep. I mean, he's a lineman. He's not going to have as many tackles as anybody else anyways. Yep. So he's probably right on target to where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought overall, I mean, I was happy with what we traded for when we got Quinn. I mean, he looks like an upgrade over Taco.
I think he motivated Taco from what I saw. He got a sack, and also Taco got a sack. And kind of what I want to speak on right quick earlier is that for those that are thinking we just paid Tank Lawrence and he's not doing what he should, Aaron Donald didn't register his first sack until last night, week 3. So just put that out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. That's actually a great point to make too, because I mean that is just like the perception.
Defensive player of the year.
People expect sacks, sack. That's what they do. He's gonna have 35 sacks this year. Did Tristan Hill? Anybody see any sightings for him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, explain.
He played. I think I couldn't really tell, but I'm pretty sure he wore 97, which I kind of love.
He did.
Let's just wipe our hands of the other one and keep it moving. Yeah, he blew up a couple of plays that he, I hadn't really. Was he even active last week, or was he a healthy scratch last week too?
Healthy scratch.
Okay.
This is his first week playing.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at it. I mean, it wasn't like, it wasn't Aaron Donald-ish, but
no. Well, he's one of those players. He's one of those players that has something, but as far as the point with him is getting him to do it consistently, and it might be lack of maturity. It could be a combination of things. But I don't think it's like his physical ability. It's probably just more just him, where everything just needs to just fit in his brain, and the switch is on, and then it's on.
He'll be okay.
And he has to get to that point. So that's it for the game. Overall, like I said, 31-6. I was happy for the win. I wasn't like celebrating. I was kind of like laying on the couch looking like, 31-6. All right. And then I kind of went back to my other stuff. But big game coming up. The New Orleans Saints. New Orleans. Sunday night football. As for me, the way I picked for the game, it still stays the same. I don't care if Breeze is out or not, because I think we should be worried about Bridgewater.
Yeah, I don't think it's Bridgewater we're going to have to be that necessarily concerned about. I mean, he's all right. I'm not knocking him at all. It's all those other freaking weapons that you got to worry about, because all Teddy has to do, Teddy has to be a bus driver. And if he can get it to Kamara or Michael Thomas or pretty much anybody else.
Ted Ginn.
Yeah.
Track star.
Yeah. Because they played really well yesterday, and it wasn't Teddy. Teddy didn't put up big numbers, but the weapons did, and their defense played pretty well. I mean, I think their defense scored at least 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, but if we sputter like we have these first couple of, was at least the last couple of weeks, sputter those first couple of series, we might be in a little bit of trouble.
Well, but the good news about that is it is Teddy.
You don't think so?
It is Teddy Bridgewater. So Teddy's not gonna put up 4 bills and passing yards, and it's going to be easy if you do get in a hole. It's going to be easier to come back against Teddy than it would be against Drew, for sure.
How many yards did Colt McCoy throw for? You know that Hall of Famer quarterback that we played against a couple of seasons ago. I always resort back to that.
I'm gonna need you to let the pass go because you're making me nervous.
Yeah.
When we have a tendency to make quarterbacks that shouldn't be.
Okay, but this is a whole different team. It's a whole different defense.
Yeah.
And we're the same team that starts off slow like we were last season and the season before, even at a new team. We're still the same team, or a new team that starts where our defense starts off kind of slow and so can't figure anything out into the second.
Okay, but the defense is still a bend not break defense because
we won.
True,
when they get inside when they got inside
Yeah.
the goal line yesterday, it was no dice every time. And
well, I understand that.
I mean,
but bend and break will get you killed sooner or later, and it's usually at the wrong time.
We won 13-10 last year. I'm not concerned.
Yeah, no, with Drew, with all the weapons.
Yeah, that's true too.
I'm not concerned.
When they came in on like
they
were on a 10-game winning streak or whatever, and they looked unbeatable. And then, if you'll remember, after the game here, they were not.
We punched them in the mouth. Yeah, we punched them in the mouth. I understand that,
and we really didn't punch them in the mouth.
We jab.
I mean, we had a 10-0 lead in the first quarter, but we scored absolutely nothing in the second half.
True.
So we flip-flopped last time.
I do believe the playing up and or down to your opponent is real. Just like Ron said earlier, teams do play up for this team, but I feel like the Cowboys, and I don't know that it's just the Cowboys, but other teams, you tend to get. It would have been hard. You got to remember, these are early 20-year-olds. It's hard not to read your own press clippings and to hear about the spread and to hear about there's really it's a 2-horse league right now with the Patriots and the Cowboys, and the Patriots and the Cowboys are on a collision course and blah, 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 blah. It's hard not to read that stuff. And so I do feel like that plays a part in it. And that's why then the second half, it looked like a completely different team.
Yeah, and I think, putting it that way, which makes you're making a great point, Lisa. I mean, we've all played sports once upon a time.
Yeah.
Whether football, basketball, volleyball, whatever the case may be. But there was always that one team that no one expected you to beat. Yeah. And when you had them that game, that's when you got a little more pep in your step. And you're going to try and knock them right out every single time. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of validity to that point that you're making. It's just I just have concern. I mean, we're 3-0, and everything is great and wonderful, and I'm happy and I'm excited, but I still have to see more. I mean, I know we're better. I know offensively we're better. But we got to remember, too, we've had times where we've been 3-0 where we didn't even make the playoffs. So, I mean, it has happened before.
Listen, I'm by no means pushing all my chips in, saying I'm all in. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying, I'm not even going to say the CO word that I like to use so much. I'm more than a little bit optimistic. Yeah. But I'm with you. I need to see more. I would like to see more consistency. I would like to, but then at the same time, the cynic in me, I kind of like us playing sporadic. So there's still doubters. And then you're going to come into it being like, well, they haven't played anybody. Okay, well, now we're going to play New Orleans. And if we beat the brakes off of them, they're going to be like, well, but it was New Orleans without Drew Brees.
Yeah, but you can kind of throw they haven't played anybody out of the window kind of after week 1, can't you? Because that's when tape and stuff starts developing on teams, and then things become tighter.
No, I'm just saying, but that's what everybody's saying.
That's 0-3 or not.
That's what everybody's saying, and that's what after the New Orleans game, they'll say the first 3 teams we did play are kind of hot garbage-ish, but like. Okay, so then we play New Orleans, and there'll be an excuse, well, Drew Brees wasn't there. Okay, then the next week we play Aaron Rodgers. God forbid he pull out a win here. But if we win that one, it'll be something like, well, Green Bay's defense wasn't as good as everybody was saying they were because Green Bay hadn't played anything. Well, then we play the
Well,
Jets.
I
That's
don't think Green Bay is
self-explanatory.
that good. Yeah, I don't think Green Bay is good as what it looks like on paper right now at this moment. But
They have
I
a great
guess we'll see
defense.
as time goes on.
Their defense is all right, but I don't think it's what Aaron Rodgers is making it out to be, like the second coming of Khalil.
Well, Aaron Rodgers can't even keep his own, have like an original celebration that he stole from Freddie Mitchell. I'm going to mention that anytime you say his name. Even though Freddie Mitchell is an Eagle and a Chief, I believe, but that's Freddie Mitchell's discount double check, Aaron Rodgers. But anyways.
I guess Freddie Mitchell didn't get paid as much as Aaron Rodgers did for that.
I had a very good
check.
conversation with Freddie Mitchell one day on the IG.
Really?
Yeah, it was interesting.
What did he have to say? Did he say that Aaron Rodgers stole his discount double check?
No, it was being critical of Romo. Actually, it was a post of Romo throwing a pass to T.O. I can't remember if it was. I think it was a post celebrating Terrell Owens. And he said, there he goes again, making another quarterback look great, greater than what he was. And then I chimed in like, wait a minute, this is Freddie Mitchell. So I chimed in back at him. I was like, well, at least he had that ability to make a quarterback look better than what he was. And then he replied back to me. He was like, good point or something like that. He actually didn't come back harder than I thought he was going to. He said something to the point like, you're right, or something along those lines. And I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. I'm done with that.
Well,
good job.
They still stole that move. His move is stolen. He needs to go get him a lawyer and lawyer up. He should be doing the State Farm commercials. But that's all I really have. I'm definitely looking forward to the game. Any word on if they're doing a viewing at the Star this week?
I haven't seen anything yet, but
me either.
I wonder if because it's let me go look right now real fast.
Because I think if they do it, I think I'm going to go to that. Mm-hmm. Just because I know it will not be hot since it's a night game. So that's right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Jesus, what are you doing? What's that clicking noise? You trying to do SOS signal out to somebody?
Yeah, I'm sending y'all.
Trying
I'm
to
sending
see
you
if
Morse
events
code.
are coming up. I don't think I see it.
September, is it the 29th? I don't see
it
on the calendar.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
Well, maybe it is because it's a night game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the drunk people will be out
late at night or whatever. Okay, well, that goes out that idea because I was hoping that we all could get together and watch that game and stuff. I thought that would be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't even see any more watching parties. And
no, I see a movie night on Saturday. Looks like
Friday
Night Lights maybe.
There's one not till November 24th is the next one. It looks like.
Why are they spreading them out so far? Yeah,
I don't think so. I think the week before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of odd. It just seems like it'd be a nice thing to do.
I don't know if it's a cost thing because they got the beer and all that stuff out there. I don't know if it costs to have all that stuff out there on the field, equipment.
I mean, I think they still show the game every weekend. I just don't think it's going to be an official thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do show the games out there every weekend.
Well, find a place for us to watch the game, Lisa.
On Sunday night?
Yep, go ahead and put that down in your notebook. I'm kicking my feet back up again.
Well, we can go to the Shark Club in Plano if that's what you want.
And that might be why, too, because it's a Sunday night game, why they're not doing it. They probably don't, for the night game.
Security and all that would be a lot worse.
BYOB, who would do such a thing? As I shop for a flask online on Amazon.
I have a bracelet. I have a bracelet flask.
You already sent me a picture.
Looks like a bracelet.
Yes, I'm curious to see.
Well, you couldn't pull it off.
Why couldn't I? It was one of those type of bracelets. Oh.
It's like a bangle bracelet.
Oh, yeah. No, thanks. No, thanks. But then
you could wear it. I'm not judging.
But then again, some of these big chains some of these Cowboy fans be wearing, it might be maybe that's what it really is. Maybe it's a flask. And I'm going to still ask.
Or it's gas station key. Gas station bathroom key.
Yeah, and I'm still
Yeah,
gonna.
that's a good one.
And I'm still
That's
gonna.
exactly what it is.
And I'm still gonna ask how they use the restroom with that with all that stuff on. But anyways, that's all we got.
So who did we have? Did everybody pick us this week? Did we all pick Cowboys?
No,
Troy didn't.
no, but that was based off of Drew Brees, and I'm just like kind of in the middle. I mean,
you said a while ago you're not changing your pick.
Well, no, I'm not going to change my pick. I know because I'm still. I got to be at 11-5.
I think I had us losing. I will definitely change ours. We're winning this week. We'll win. I'm changing. That would. What was I? Did I have us 12-4 or 13-3? Did I have 13-3?
You and I both ended up at 12.
Yeah, 12.
Okay,
4.
good. Okay, so I can take 13-3 then.
I think we were all at 12-4, and I picked another one to drop back to 11-5.
So that would put me at 13-3 then. So yeah, I can take 13-3. If it made me 14-2, then I would have had to throw it out.
Yeah, I mean, I know listeners are probably like, well, why would you want to go back to 11-5? Because I don't like the bye week. I just don't, and we'll cover that again. We'll probably touch on that subject several times throughout the season on why.
When is our bye week? Is it week 10?
Where are we? Week
8?
I want to say it's 8. 8 sounds.
I hope it's 8, because that's too late into the season, isn't it?
10
yeah,
would be perfect, honestly.
Or would you rather be later? Would you rather be later at the bye week of the season, or would you rather be earlier or right in the middle?
Our bye week is week 8.
20.
So the correct preference would be 8, right? Or would it be earlier,
right
or would it be later?
Right after.
I like the
after
midway
we play
point.
the Eagles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we play the Eagles, and then we have a bye week, and then we play the Giants.
Yep.
Ooh, the Giants.
Who's that? Saquon is out, 6 to 8 weeks?
Yep. Yeah, Zeke, only competitor for the leading rusher and stuff, is playing with him. But Zeke's
Dalvin Cook. If Dalvin Cook,
comeback player of the
Cook's
year
in the running.
Comeback player of the year right there. I'm calling it already.
I think Travis Frederick might get that too.
Yeah, sure. But that Dalvin Cook is leading the league in rushing right now. It's gonna be tough.
He's playing really well.
But
I was talking to a guy at work, and I wasn't even thinking. He was talking about Travis Frederick and what I call Travis Frederick's disease. Mm-hmm. You guys would be so ashamed of me.
Oh.
I already am, just knowing that you're talking about it.
Got me already saying,
well, no, it's not bad, because it just slipped my mind, and it still slipped my mind. I said, yeah, he had that Ben Vereen disease last year.
Interesting.
Ben Vereen?
Yeah.
What is that?
He was like a famous African-American actor, I believe.
No,
He was
I
also
know
a tap
who he
dancer.
is.
But
he was Will Smith's dad in the episode on Fresh Prince where he left him.
See?
Why my dad don't want
score one for Lisa?
Why my dad don't want me no more? I learned how to drive a car. I got out of high school. Why my dad don't want me no more? Anyways.
And for the record, Ron, I have seen I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Hey, I never threw it out there. He was the one that, for some strange reason, decided not to ask the question.
When she said that, I called her immediately. I was like, I just started laughing. I was like, I assumed wrong.
Troy said, I didn't mean to.
But yeah, that's the way it worked. But I guess we kind of talked a little too much going on this, because I'm keeping this on the show because this is gold. But for myself, Lisa, and a Starstruck fan, we bid you adieu. We'll see you next week, and hopefully I was completely incorrect, and I had no reason to worry about this game. And Lisa and Starstruck will stand supreme as correct, no worries in the world. Would you like to say goodbye to the people?
Goodbye, people.
Goodbye, people. Let's go, Cowboys.
She was trying to do it like a fake Jerry.
How about them Cowboys?
Absolutely not.
Check me out in my stadium. We'll go ahead and share some Papa John pizza. I'll dance with you.
Cowboys, that was a good show.
I don't know that I...